Hello lovelies, how are we all? Welcome back to the channel for the second video for today. How awesome is that? Yep, very lucky. 2 videos today. So if you watched the last video that I posted early this morning, you'll know that for Australia Day there is a cyber crop happening on the Kitaholics members page, and I'm on the design team. So I did a Project Life challenge, and one of the lovely girls, Deb, did a mood board challenge. And this is what I came up with for that. So I started with some watercolor cardstock. I have to admit, this stuff is awesome. What I did is I used my distress crayons, scribbled them on my craft sheet, added some water, and then applied it to the page. It spread so beautifully. I think I'm going to have to get some more watercolor cardstock. It really was a lot of fun to play with, so it moved a lot more than I expected. The colours blended beautifully without gesso, priming, absolutely nothing, just straight on the cardstock. So definitely something I'm going to invest in. So the mood board was based on the January Kitaholic Kit, and when I saw the colours of the mood board, I thought it made me think of the beach. It really did. I did intend to use a picture of Will in the pool, but as I'm doing the page, I didn't know what else I was, apart from the background. I had no idea where this layout was going to go. So in the end, I ended up changing it. As soon as I changed the photo, the layout came together so quickly and beautifully. I was really happy with it. I got it done in less than 20 minutes. Once I had the photo picked, and I went for my Craft Coastal Escape collection, and it matched the mood board beautifully. And when I think of that collection, I think of the beach as well. It's a very beachy collection, and I absolutely love it. And it just suited the picture perfectly, and therefore, you know, the mood board, it went together really well. Yeah, when I first picked this photo, I know I wanted to do this with my background, so all I'm doing now with the distress crayons is going in and applying the crayon straight to the cardstock, just to give it a few darker areas, and then I'm smudging it in with my finger. And more smudging. Smudging is my second favourite technique to use with these distress crayons. I just colour along the edge and then smudge it, put a little bit of water on my finger and then just smudge it in, and it gives it a nice border, sort of like matting it. So like I was saying, the picture that I originally chose was Will in the pool. Now I know that I wanted to make this watery background, and I thought obviously it would go very well with this photo, but I hit a bit of a block. I just could not think of anything else to do for this layout after I'd put my background in. So I went to my computer and went through and got some more photos. I thought a beach photo would go much better, because then I thought of the Coastal Escape collection, and I thought that would suit the mood board and my background perfectly. And if I had a photo from the beach, it would go much better. So as I was going through my photos on my computer, I found the perfect photo. Now, I ended up choosing a photo of Will at the beach picking up a shell. Now, the Coastal Escape, I keep going to say Coastal Expressions, and I don't know why. The Coastal Escape Craft collection, this collection here, I have it separate because it's for my cruise album that I'm going to do eventually, one day. And, you know, living on the Gold Coast, we go to the beach all the time, lovely Tweed Coast. So I take lots of beach photos, so this is one of my absolute favourite collections. And I'm trying to hoard as much of it as I possibly can. I'm in love with it. And I knew that I wanted to add some sandy tones to it. And I wanted a shell element. Don't ask me why, but when I saw this background and this collection together, I saw sandy colours with shells and those clam shells and things. So in my head, I knew exactly how I wanted to do it. And I was lucky enough that I was able to recreate it pretty much the way I saw it in my head, which is always an awesome bonus. So I had this specialty die cut sheet, and I thought, you know, I'll give it a go and see if I can use that. So I hack it up a bit, and it works really well. I managed to get it under my photo. I'm out of foam, unfortunately, so I was a bit stuck as to how I was going to, because I want to prop the photo up so all this is under it. But in the end, I used some foam tape, and then I put it straight down, and then I stapled down the outsides of this net die cut sheet. So this is my picture. This is Will, I think it was July last year. Yes, winter, I know, but winter on the Gold Coast isn't exactly like winter everywhere else. Yes, we go to the beach in winter. And yeah, he was picking up shells, and I'm one of those people that takes hundreds of photos, literally hundreds. when we go to the beach or something, and then, you know, supposedly go back through and clean them up later on when I've got time in front of my computer, which I don't do as often as I should, so I still have hundreds of photos. But I was going through, and this one was beautiful. The way he's crouching down, the background, the angle, it's my favorite. And yes, I took about 10, so I had to go through and get the perfect one. But it's perfect, and it really suits this background beautifully. The blue pops out off that sand, but it also gives me the chance to bring in that sand color element from the fishnet die cut, and then the shells that I want to use from this collection. But yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite collections. It's the Kitaholic Coastal Escape collection, and I have pretty much every piece of it more than one time over. It's, yeah, my absolute favorite, and I use it a lot. I do a lot of beach photos, but I'm also using it in my cruise album, because we went on a cruise last November, went to Moreton Island, so I've done a few spreads for that. But yeah, it's definitely one of my absolute favorites, so I do have a decent amount of it. And this little collection over on the right hand side you see is some of it that I've pulled out of my drawer, thinking that I can use it. So right now I'm going through the die cut pieces. Now Kitaholic, when they have released some collections, they have ephemeral die cut collectibles that match each collection, which is really awesome. And so I'm just going through and picking out some things that I think might work. So once I've got all the pieces out that I like and that appeal to me, I go about attaching them or placing them on the page where I think I like them. Now, because I've used watercolor on my page, it's a little bit warped, so I'm just trying to bend it backwards to try and flatten it out a bit. Once this goes in my album, it's pretty flat, and you can't see the warp. And because it's watercolor cardstock, it's not warped as badly as you'd expect plain cardstock to warp. But yes, I'm just trying to flatten it out. And then I decide to go with my title down the bottom here, which I end up using a die cut piece that says Beach Time, and a little cluster behind that, and then this little cluster of shells tucked behind the photo. Obviously, being directly above my title, it's not symmetrical, so I move it over to the other side, and I'm much happier with it. So these are those shell pieces that I was talking about when I saw this photo and this layout come together. These are the shell pieces I pictured in my head coming out from behind the photo. And they make really nice little clusters. So there's the blue, the teal, and the sandy color, and that's pretty much what this entire collection is based on, that color scheme, which is really beautiful. And yeah, I'm just putting all my clusters together. So there's some shells in there, some seaweed or coral or whatever. I think, well, let's go with coral. Let's call it coral. And so I alternate between sticking them down and using some foam adhesive as well to pop it up, just so it's not all flat and just to give my layout some dimension. I also end up using two different types of foam, which one ended up being a little bit higher than the other, so I was able to have varying heights of dimension. My title ends up being on a thicker foam, so it pops up even more than that first layer of coral, which is really cool. I was quite happy with the way that worked. And then also the cluster of shells up the top there, I put, because the photo's already popped up on foam tape, having the shells hang over the edge of the photo, I didn't need to put foam on both sides. I just put foam on half and then normal adhesive on the other half, so that it's perfectly in line with the photo. So I'm just going to finish putting together my two clusters, and then I'm going to get part of this collection. Kitaholic also usually, with a lot of their collections, come out with small wood veneer that matches. And same as the case with this collection, it was a really nice little collection of shells and fish and anchors and things like that. So all sea life, nautical type wood veneer, and they're really small, and it was perfect to add a little bit more dimension and a different element to these clusters. So I go into that wood veneer stash, and I get out some shells and a seahorse and what else, a fish, and yeah, just add it to those clusters, which is really cool. What I also end up doing is getting some enamel dots and some bling and finishing off those two clusters. Once I'm done with that, I go back and get my blue London Blue, is it London Blue? Yeah, Dilutions mist, add a few splatters, and yeah, that's my layout done. It come together really quickly. Once I changed my photo, and I was, happy with the way it was going to go, I was really stuck. With that first photo, I couldn't see the layout past my background. I couldn't figure out what I was going to do. As soon as I decided on a different photo, and the collection, it came together so quickly, and I was really, really happy. I love this layout. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, really happy with how quickly it came together. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. And I hope you also checked out today's earlier video, which was my week 2 in my 2017 album. And yeah, come on back to the channel either later in the week or early next week, in the next few days, for week 3 of my project life. And of course, now that I have my Scrappy Mojo back, some more 12x12 layouts. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.